So, how do you land a dream job to Canada as an immigrant? I know there are usually a number of challenges that immigrants face in trying to land their ideal job. In this video, I'll be sharing with you my story of how I was able to land a dream job that I really desired. I'm also going to be sharing with you a couple of tips and strategies and ideas that I was able to apply on the journey to making that happen, which I believe will be beneficial, hopefully, to you when you get to apply them. But before doing that, if you already haven't done so, what are you waiting for? Well, subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified each time I drop a new video. I usually create videos in the areas of personal and professional development along with faith as well. Back to the video. So for those of you who don't know, I came into Canada as, yes, an immigrant from Nigeria. That was many years ago. I'm not going to reveal that just so you don't get to know how old I have been here. But yeah, I came in here as a student. I enrolled in computer science with specialization in software engineering at University of Windsor. Shout out to my U Windsor folks. Hey. So yeah, the program was by no means easy. It was very challenging. I know that I had a number of up and down times as well, dealing with a number of challenges, not just in terms of academic, but some other challenges occurring to me being in a new environment. But that's probably a story that I would share in a different YouTube video. But yes, I studied computer science, specializing in software engineering, and definitely that really helped me a lot and prepared me to pursue a career in tech, which is where I've been working in for some time now. One thing that really helped me a lot, especially with my program at the university, was getting involved in co-op. I had the opportunity to serve a 16-month co-op work term, and I learned a whole lot about the work environment, working in a real tech company while I was still doing my program. And that's why I'm a very big proponent for co-op. And I encourage as many people as possible who are going through the school routes coming into the country to, as much as possible, try to do co-op. It will set you up for success. And the fee you pay is not an expense, but it is a huge investment. So that's something that I did. And I remember at the time I was completing my co-op program. I was completing my program at the university. I already had over 1 year of experience working in a real world industry. And obviously that really helped me a lot and gave me some form of advantage compared to people who only just did the study without any form of co-op. So I graduated from the university, and I believe it was the week after that I landed a dream job that I always wanted. It was at IBM Canada, working as a software developer. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was great. I remember the time when I got the call from the hiring manager, and I just couldn't believe it because, man, even when I did the interview, the series of interviews, I did not know that I even would qualify for the position. But thank God I was able to get that, and I made it happen. I remember moving from Windsor to Markham, Ontario, where the job position was located at. And that was really very awesome and amazing for me as well. So one point I wanted to just share there is, first of all, doing co-op helps a lot. If you're unable to do co-op, then do internship. Those are really very, very valuable. And in terms of how I was able to land that job, I did a couple of things that I believe would also be very beneficial for anyone who's looking to like land a dream job, for example. In terms of applying for the position, I like to do this thing called the three-step process. So the three-step process, this is what I did exactly. I remember I had about 3 to 5 companies that I identified that I was looking to really work at the time. I believe IBM was there, and Google, Amazon, Oracle, and some other companies. I did a very, very thorough research on those companies because I wanted to ascertain whether or not the work environment and the work culture was something that resonates with me. So I did the research, and those were like, the top companies that I was really very, very interested in working at. And I ended up applying to a couple of positions at those companies. And I had the opportunity to do an interview with Google, which for some reason didn't pan out the way that I wanted. But thankfully, the one for IBM worked out fine. So that was like, that is the first step for the 3-step process, identifying the companies that I really wanted to work for. I picked about my top 5. So the next thing that I did afterwards was to identify the specific roles that I was interested in. Obviously, knowing this would help a lot with narrowing down on the specific job titles that you really want to apply to. It's not just enough for you to just spread your resume and apply to, like a gazillion different kinds of job postings, especially if they have different job titles. It may not be a very effective way to go about doing the job search. So narrowing down on the specific job titles helped me a lot, because whenever I'm going to look for a job, I know what kind of job titles to look out for. And whenever I was going to share with somebody that was looking for a kind of position, I knew exactly what to tell them. And that way they could help me out if they found something that met my criteria. So that was the other thing. And then the second step in the 3-step process. The third step in the 3-step process is to acquire the relevant skills. Obviously, to qualify for certain kinds of positions or certain kind of companies, it's required that you have minimum requirements for specific skills, whether it's a kind of programming languages or kind of software that they require the person applying for that job to really to possess. And obviously, in the course of me trying to doing those applications, I noticed there were a number of skill sets that certain job titles or job positions were looking for that I did not have. And what did I do? I went to go brush up just so I to stand a better chance at qualifying for the jobs that I was applying to. So the 3-step process definitely helped me a lot. And so thankfully, I was able to pass the different tests. And obviously, in terms of preparing for the different roles, having your resume and your cover letter fits the job descriptions really matters a lot. A number of times, people just have one very generic resume that they create and they use that to apply for many jobs. And in a number of cases, the resume doesn't fit very well with the job postings that they're applying to. And if that's usually the case for you and the job that you're applying, then you may not really stand a very good chance. So it helps a lot to tailor your resume and your cover letter to the specific jobs that you are looking to apply to. Even though I know it can be a painful experience having to update and to tweak your resume, but definitely it would be worth the effort. And the other thing too is when it comes to applying to a particular position that you really, really, really want. I usually say this to people. If it's a position that you really, really want, then you definitely want to include a cover letter, because the cover letter would help you to stand out. And the expression you could not provide in your resume, you'll be able to put that in writing in your cover letter. So if you really, really find job positions that you want, I strongly recommend that you include a well-written cover letter. And in the cover letter, just don't tell them that you have certain skills. You show them how you demonstrated the skills. I think I'm going to include create a different video to show how you can best tailor your resume and your cover letters to the specific kind of jobs that you want. But those are really very important as well. And then when it comes to the interview process, definitely it helps a lot to do your research on the kind of questions that will be asked for different kind of companies online. And just going online and doing a Google search, I'm sure you'll find a whole lot of sample questions. There are companies like Glassdoor that have sample questions even provided by individuals who sat for specific job interviews at specific companies. You can go through those. You find a lot of practice questions, and obviously, the more you practice, the more confident you're gonna feel when you sit for those job interviews. And that was definitely something that I did as well. I did a lot of sample interviews, mock interviews. Being in tech, there are very specific kinds of technical questions that usually get asked. So that was definitely something that I had to do a whole lot of practice for. Preparing for an interview can be a very, very hard nut to crack, but obviously, if it's a position that you really want, you would put in the time and the effort required for you to ace the interview so that you can finally land that ideal dream job that you want. So I think for me, those are some of the things that helped me a lot in terms of landing that dream job at the time. And it's been an amazing and awesome experience getting to work with different individuals, amazing individuals, and working on different kinds of projects. I hope you find this useful. Again, like I mentioned, the 3-step process, definitely important. I'm going to put a link to a different video where I elaborate more on the 3-step process. And I'm going to be creating a different video to share on how you can tailor your resume and your cover letter to match the kind of job that you want for yourself. With that said, I also have created an ebook where I share a lot more on my journey from my journey to landing a dream job as an immigrant. I will paste the link to the ebook in the description of this video. It's titled Crack the Dream Job Code. Subtitle is How to Land a Dream Job in Canada as an Immigrant. Definitely very important. Definitely very important for people who are looking to do the same thing too as well. I got the chance to collaborate with a number of veteran immigrants who are doing great things in high places, and I'm sure it's going to be very, very valuable for you as well. With that said, thanks a lot for watching, and obviously don't forget that you're more than enough, you're worthy, you're deserving, you're loved, and I wish you the best in cracking the code to landing that your dream job, and I hope you land it in 2024 and you get the best job that is suitable for you. All right, thanks for watching. It's Franklin here. God bless and peace.